Well, hello, friends. Real quick before we kick off the episode, I have to let you know about something exciting. I am seriously considering having an upgraded version of this podcast where you get bonus episodes and exclusive content. But here's the deal, I'm trying to decide what that content and those episodes should be. I do have some ideas, and I was wondering if you could vote really quick and tell me what you think about what would entice you, what would be interesting to you to get as bonus episodes on this podcast. For example, deeper dives into topics. Maybe I'm answering questions that many of you ask about starting or growing a business. Maybe even overhearing coaching calls, something like this. It would be a paid, upgraded version of this podcast, not very expensive at all, probably just a handful of dollars a month, but it be extra content for you to help you along your journey. My whole goal is to help you build your business dream, and I would love to offer you even more because some of you are asking for it. So if you could just look down in the show notes right now, there's two ways you can give me your answers. Number one, I have a Google form with 5 quick questions. It can be anonymous. You just answer them and vote on what would be interesting to you. Or number two, I have a voice memo system. You can just click it and you could just leave a voice memo with your phone right now and just record it and tell me what kind of topics, what things would be interesting to you behind the scenes, market news, what would be things that would be extra that would be really valuable to you. So thank you all so much. Okay, on to the episode. Well, hello, I'm Kimberly Brock, and for the last 20 years, I've been running my own businesses that have not only been profitable, but personally fulfilling to me. And so now I'm on a mission to help other women just like you do the exact same thing. Now we're going to have some fun, so let's get started. Well, hello, this is Kimberly. It is episode 21, and this is the second part of our series on productivity. So I'm so glad you're here. Real quick before we get going, as promised on previous episodes, I am reading reviews from Apple Podcasts at the beginning of some of the episodes, and today is one of those days. Today I'm reading a review from Stella B4, and oh, thank you so much. This review makes me feel so great, so thank you. But here is what Stella B4 stated. Sometimes it just takes the first step. I love this podcast. It's for normal people looking to fulfill a passion or a dream, and it encourages people to just go for it. Kimberly is such an inspiring motivator while also being relatable and down to earth. She just gets it. Can't wait to keep hearing more. It's really making me feel like I can realistically pursue my passion, and she gives practical info on how to do so. Plus, she's a great coach. It's all about just getting it done. Thank you so much, Stella B4. And if you right now have been listening to this podcast and you've never given me a rating or a review, I would be so grateful. And it also helps Apple spread the news to other people like us building businesses, doing what we love. And it just helps put my podcast out there more. So thank you so much. If you want to leave a review, you can scroll down right now. You can leave a star rating and then leave a written review on how it's helped you. I would be so grateful. And I may even give you a shout out on a future episode. Thank you so much. Now let's get started. Well, hello. I am so glad you're here. I know you are striving to be more productive, get more done every day, and really push your business to the next level and push yourself to the next level too. So I'm so glad you're here. If you have not listened to last week, please go back and listen to episode 20, which is the first part in the series about productivity. So here we are today, episode 21. So just make sure you listen to episode 20 first. So in that episode, I talked about how to create that good environment for working where you can focus, and also how to time block and what to do so you could take specific time each week to sit down and further your business. Today, I'm going to talk about 2 more aspects of that. And these are things that can actually rob you of that focus and of that time blocking time. The first thing is fear of chaos when you do set aside that time. And I know a lot of people struggle with this. I personally don't. I am an action taker. I'm very creative about figuring things out. So if I time block and I know that other things in my household, in my life are going to fall to the wayside because of it, I'm pretty good at figuring out how to manage that. But I know a lot of people have a really hard time letting go of control and allowing things to be chaotic and then giving the time for themselves to get creative on how to fix it. So let's say, for example, you have little kids at home and you're thinking, how in the world will I ever time block or have time in the day to set aside? Number one, is there times of the day that a spouse is home or in-laws can help you or grandparents? Someone can help you so that you can have that time block. Or could it be that you barter with a friend and you say, I'll watch your kids on these days, you watch mine so I can have these time blocks? Or do you have to pay for a sitter or a nanny to get help so that you can time block? When my kids were little, I did not have help with my first two, but when the third one came along, I had to have help because I just could not focus. It was just too chaotic. So I had to hire help on certain days of the week to give me time blockings so that I could work and focus and get my stuff done. A lot of people get scared of what falls off when the wheels fall off when they're away. Another problem people have is with their house. It will get dirty. It will get messier because they're not spending time cleaning. And that is true. And you have to realize that there is going to be that effect by you taking time now to focus on your work or your priorities in your business. And you have to figure out ways to enlist help of those around you or hire help. I have to have a maid because I cannot physically do all of this. My husband cannot, although he is super helpful and is constantly doing stuff around the house. He takes care of a lot of the stuff outside the house. So if stuff's breaking outside and the yard and stuff like that, he's super good and helpful. But there's just not enough hands. My kids are busy and gone. And as you've heard, my daughter's in dance. She can't help. Are my kids responsible for cleaning the rooms and helping with dishes and doing things? Yes, of course. But I'm just talking about the things that if I wasn't working, we wouldn't need a maid. I could be cleaning the house, but we have chosen for me to have a career because I love it and I love having my own business. And so we have to hire a maid. So I want to ask you right now, are there things in your life that you're scared of happening by you taking this time to focus on yourself and focus on these time blocks? What are you scared of? What chaos are you scared that's going to happen because you've done this? And when you identify those things, what are you scared of? Your house is going to crumble. It's going to be dirty. You don't know what to do with the kids. Or maybe it's mealtime. You don't know what to do about dinner time and figuring all that out. What can you do to get creative so that you still have these time blocks? One thing that has been a pain point for me that I've always struggled with is I'm really good with food from the grocery store. Our pantry and refrigerator are stocked. I'm okay at cooking, but yes, I'm able to cook. I've always struggled with what to cook. It's just that 2 minutes of like looking in the fridge and going, what am I going to make tonight? And literally just staring blankly into the fridge. And for some reason, I have a really hard time converting that into a meal and get going cooking. So what has helped me, and I'll actually put a link in the show notes, I use HelloFresh. I have used many different meal delivery companies. They do not provide you a full meal cooked. They provide you the food and the menu so that you can still be cooking and you have control over that. It just provides you the menu and the directions, and the food is right there. It has changed my life. Because now, if you listen to last week's episode, my daughter comes home from school at 3:30. We get like 3 different meals delivered each week. I pick out the recipe and how to cook it. I put the card in front of me. I get out the food and I'm talking to her, and there is no stress about what I'm cooking for dinner. It is the greatest thing. It has relieved that chaos for me because that got crazy to me and I couldn't figure out how to meal plan. I have some friends that do it on Sundays and they literally cook all their meals for the week and then they'll freeze some of them, which I think is so amazing. And round of applause to you if you can do that. Also, I know that people eat out a lot and I don't like to eat out a lot. I like to be more in control of my food. So I know that's an option for some people. Some people don't have that pain point. They know exactly what they want to cook each week and it's not a hard process for them. For me, it's hard. Another thing that has been a time suck for me is grocery store shopping. And so I now use Instacart, or I do like the grocery store where you can pick up your groceries. I order online now all the time, and it has been the greatest stress relief for me because that was another piece of chaos, another pain point of me time blocking and spending this time working is that now I'm not grocery shopping. I'm not going to get them for an hour or an hour and a half, and it was just stressful. And now I literally just go on Instacart and I order, and it's here in 2 hours. It's like the greatest thing ever if you haven't used it. So if this is a pain point for you, if you either don't like going to the grocery store or you don't have time because you're time blocking now, you should use one of these services. And again, a lot of them do it where you can just order online and drive up at a specified hour and pick up all your groceries. So same difference. It's fantastic and it will save you loads of time and stress. And so again, I have those links down in the show notes and you can click through it and read about them. But that has helped me. So that was a way that I had chaos, that I got creative. And yes, I had to sacrifice money because when it came down to it, I couldn't get my husband to go grocery shopping. I couldn't get my teenage son. He wouldn't pick out the right things, or maybe he could. I need to give him more credit than that. He could pick out the right things, but do you know how much stress that would be on him when he's got to do good in school? His job right now as a junior in high school is to make really good grades, so he has more choices for college. Back to my point. What are the things in your life that will fall to the wayside by you time blocking and being productive? And how can you get creative about getting those done and alleviating those pain points? Could it mean that you have to get up an hour earlier? It could mean that, or 30 minutes earlier. Or could it mean that you time block at different times of day instead of the ones that you really want to because of the situation? Maybe you can't afford to pay a little bit extra for the Instacart or the meal delivery or anything like that, so that you need to shop during the day, and then maybe you can work when a spouse gets home at night and you have more time. So maybe you have to slightly adjust your time blocking schedule if you can't pay to have help, if that makes sense. So there is a way that you can get creative. You need not fear the chaos that will ensue because of you working, because there is a way to make it work. The second point for today is you have to have the ability to say no. And I know you've heard the saying, you can't be all things to all people. And I find that people that are people pleasers often say yes to everything and don't have boundaries on what they will say no to. I personally have never had a problem with this, but I know a lot of people that do. What you have to do is start with very high level. What are all the things that you really value in your life? What are all those important things that you know you need to accomplish, that you want to accomplish, the kind of person that you want to be? And once you start narrowing down, you can now give a test. Whenever someone asks you, can you do this? Can you do that on Tuesday? Can you help me on Friday? Does it align with the goals that I'm trying to achieve for my life? And does it fit around my time blocking schedule that I've made? And if it says no to both of those, if you're saying no, it doesn't align with that and it doesn't fit in my schedule, then you probably need to say no. Does it mean that you will never get to do that ever again? No. But let's say you always met some fellow women for coffee on Tuesdays from 10 to 12. That's 2 hours that you could have been really focused on your work project that you know you need to get done. And maybe that has to go away right now. Although one of your values may be, I have got to keep up these friendships each week. So now you go, okay, is there a way I can get creative to still keep the friendship up for a while here while I'm being super focused and time blocked so that I can achieve the things that I want to achieve in my business? Okay. So if there are volunteer opportunities at your child's school or someone needs help, I understand that, yes, you want to help. I do that. I volunteer at the school. I help with my son's volunteer organization. We do different things. We try to put those on the weekends or times when it's not interfering with his or my schedule. So I can still do those things. I can still go to Bible study. That is important to me. That's blocked out. My times for doing the lessons and all that during the week, as you heard from last week's episode about, I work out every day. So that's time blocked in. So you really have to start high level What is it that you value? What do you want to achieve? And then say no to most of it. I had read another article on Steve Jobs talking about when he was taking over at some point. I can't remember exactly when it was, but they had like 340 products at Apple or something like that. And he came in and said, no, we're narrowing this down to 10. So he said no to 340 things. Successful people have to say no to a lot of things. And it's the things that don't align with what you're valuing and what is going to help you keep your time blocks. Okay, so just to recap, last week we talked about time blocking, we talked about your environment. Now I'm saying if you're fearful of the chaos of you time blocking, you've got to now get creative on how you can stop that chaos, on how you can alleviate it. And it may mean you have to pay for help. And the fourth thing is you have to have the ability to say no. You can't be all things to all people. You can't do it all, because if you are, then you're not doing any one thing well. And I challenge you today, if there's anything in your life that you know you have not been living up to your overall values on, maybe it's spending time with certain people in your life. Maybe it's, it is volunteering or being involved somehow. If you know you haven't been doing that, I want to challenge you today to say yes, so that you can do that and be the most effective person, be the person I know that you're meant to be, that you have set yourself out to be, and you haven't set aside to do those important things. Make sure you're doing those, and then you're time blocking around that. So that's all I want to say. Thank you all so much for listening. I hope this is helping you be more productive and reach your goals with your business. I'm so excited that you're taking initiative and you're working harder towards your goals, and you're taking time to focus on the things that matter most to you. Have a good day. Bye now. I hope that was a good episode for you, and I hope that you can become more productive. Real quick, I wanted to mention, I have a private Facebook group for women who are trying to build their businesses right, doing what they love. Please join me. It's my insiders group. You can scroll down right now in the show notes. You can apply to join. Make sure you answer the questions. I have a whole bunch of people sitting there waiting to become members. They have clicked that they want to join, but they are not answering the questions. So don't be one of those. Make sure you answer the questions. They're super quick, and I'll let you in the group, and we can start helping each other build our businesses right, get feedback from each other, and all that good stuff. So I hope you'll join me. Thank you all so much. Bye.
Now, this episode may be over, but our relationship does not have to end here. Head on over to KimberlyBrock.com, and yes, you can get more valuable information for your journey. And you know what? You don't need to go through this alone. I would love to help you. Thank you so much, and have a great day. Bye.